Moments before Yud B'Tammuz is over. I hope you're having so far a meaningful fast. And I told you in the morning what makes the fast meaningful is if you take action after the fast. To fast and not to eat one day, that's not a big deal. People are spoiled. My head hurts me. I'm dizzy. My tuchus hurts me. 80 years ago in the Holocaust, people went for 3 weeks without food. And we have a luxury of benefits, and don't whine for not having food for 12 hours. But in the morning we went through a short list of what happened throughout history on the 17th day of Tammuz. Very briefly, just to remind you, if you weren't here, the first thing that happened was, of course, the golden calf. And right after that, the breaking of the tablets, and Moshe Rabbeinu comes down from the mountain. And later on, a few hundred years later, in the first temple, it was the day that Korban Tamid, the sacrifice that is called Tamid, that is burnt every day, stopped. As a result, that they didn't have any access anymore for sheep. And then, of course, in the second temple, the walls of the city of Yerushalayim were broken, and which led to the result that later on Apostomos burnt the Sefer Torah. And last but not least, placed idol, a tzelem, in the Heichal, in the Kodesh HaKodashim. And this is enough to be sufficient to happen things on this day. In the morning, if you remember, I made a connection, a link between all six, that if you bring yourself an idol, you start bowing down to a golden calf, whether it's money, your phone, whatever it is, physicality, materialism, then by default it will cause a chain reaction that the next thing that will be is the foundation of our existence, which is the Torah, will shatter into pieces. And then, of course, the Korban, what makes me closer to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, will stop. I will lose my closeness to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Korban may be translated to a sacrifice, but the Korban comes from the root karov. A Korban makes me close to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. This is the kirva, this is the connection that I have with Hashem, is through a sacrifice. Now we don't have Bet HaMikdash, is when I sacrifice my time, my pleasures, and whatnot. That's a korban, a sacrifice, but that's what brings me closer to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Now if I already lose all of these, then right away, all my walls, all my protection was going to be broken and shattered, and by default will come a Rasha, like the Yetzer Hara, like Apostomos, and burn the Torah, and make the Torah not valid at all. And of course, the end result will be that in the center of my life will be a Getchke, will be a Tzelem, an idol, and that will be my God and nothing else. So at first I thought of going through each one of these 6 actions and dissect them a little bit more into pieces to see how we have it in our life. But I think we're going to take it maybe to a different direction. Maybe you can do that by yourself. Take 10 minutes out of your precious time and think what of these 6 historical acts you are failing in. Ask yourself, do you have a golden calf? And it's not going to be a little cow that is made out of gold, but I told you in the morning, people worship their phone, people worship many other things, including human beings. So you have to go through the list and ask yourself, am I involved in the Geula Zahav? And if you find that the answer is yes, and you have to be very objective here, it can't be quick to move on to the next one. Because most people, they participate in some type of idolatry. And if I don't believe that en od milvado, then in any type of way you're looking at it, this is avodah zarah. Idolatry is avodah zarah. Avodah zarah, the translation is not idolatry, they're rather a foreign work. Why foreign? Because anything that I do that is not the Torah, it's foreign to me. So if the Torah tells me how to live a certain way, and the Torah knows what's the best for me, anyone who tries to reshape the Torah, or reform the Torah, then they're going against the universal laws that the Master of the universe brought down to the world. If it says in the Torah, don't do this or don't do that, that's what the Master of the universe, the architect of this planet, of this universe, decided that it should be. So if the Kadosh Baruch Hu decides that marital relations should be only between a man and a woman that are married. Anything else is a sin. And you can't sugarcoat it in any type of a way. And today in our generation, when people are coming and saying that two men together, it's fine, it's not fine because it says in the Torah that it's not fine. You cannot add or take off from the Torah. And to come up with all these excuses, that's taking the universal laws of the architect, the engineer of the universe, and saying, I do not agree with your laws, and I will oppose it or to have my own laws. So this is one example out of many. But if I take the foundation of the Torah, which is the universal laws of Hashem, and I remove them from my life, then everything that I will do will be considered idolatry. Because it's avodah. Avodah means an action that I do. Zara, foreign. It's foreign to me. Because the original is that should be the rules, not the ones that I invented. So we all might have, in a very refined way, any type of avodah zarah. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but for me, this is my own opinion. You can attack me as much as you want. Don't get offended by my words. This is my opinion. So my opinion, the masks that people are wearing is avodah zarah. Why? Because I believe in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. I believe that the Kadosh Baruch Hu, rofeh chol basar u'mafli lazot, He's going to protect me from anything. Not a piece of cloth that is proven already that does worse than good. The fact that the World Health Organization, every 2 days they're changing their mind, just goes to show you how fake the whole thing is. But ask any normal doctor, any normal surgeon or scientist, they will tell you clear. This is not only that it's helping, it is making worse. You are minimizing the amount of oxygen to your brain. You're breathing your own carbon monoxide, etc., etc., etc. To me, I said it right? It's always hard for me, the carbon, blah, blah, blah. The point is, the fact that everybody's, frantic. It says in the prophets, Lo ta'aseh lecha Elokei masecha. Don't make yourself a god of a mask. That just fits very well. I'm sorry to tell you if I'm hurting anybody's feelings. Don't take it personal. I'm just telling you my own opinion. For me, these masks, this is avodah zarah. Walking in the street like we're all like surgeons. We're not surgeons. The mask that surgeons or doctors wear is for the benefit of the patient, that the doctor should not drool into the patient or chas v'shalom cough or something. So again, I don't want to get into that. People get very sensitive with the masks. I'm telling you, my opinion, you can attack me till tomorrow. I can care less. For me, stuff like that, that's avodah zarah. 100% avodah zarah. I believe in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kadosh Baruch Hu will strike whoever He wants to strike. A person will get sick if the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants him to get sick. And if I'm not supposed to get sick, I will wear a hazmat suit. It's not going to work if I'm supposed to get sick or not. So that's me putting my entire trust into human beings that are manipulating us, that are distorting the truth, that have an agenda. It's not for my own benefit. If you had my benefit, I'm saying you, I'm talking about governments, officials, World Health Organization, then you will bombard us with vitamin C, vitamin D, go out to the beach, stand in the sun, get yourself healthy. That's what's going to fight a disease, my immune system, not anything else. So, and I'm saying that because this is very current right now. I'm just giving you one example out of thousands of examples how a person can easily fall into idolatry. Last year when I was sick, after I got cured, by the grace of God and only Him, and also got sick because of Him, by the way. People said, oh, you got sick because of the tattoo removal. No, I was supposed to get sick. And if it wouldn't be the tattoo removal, then I will fall, I will cut myself, the cut will get infected, and that will start the exact same process. It's not the tattoo removal. This was a decree from above for whatever reason. But when I got healed, thanks to the Master of the Universe and only Him, and we had here a nice meal on Rosh Chodesh Kislev, I gave thanks to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Somebody attacked me. Why am I not thanking the doctors that treated me in the hospital? First of all, they treated me like a piece of junk. That's the truth. That's first of all. I got the worst treatment ever. to the point that I actually was begging, just get me out of this hospital. This hospital is going to kill me, not going to cure me. I'm going to give thanks to a doctor because he gave me a few treatments? The Master of the Universe is the one who cured me, and only him, and he's the only one who's getting gratitude from me. End the story. Aru hagever asher yivtach ba'adam, says David HaMelech. Damn is the man who trusts another man. Baruch hagever asher sam et Hashem yivtacho. Blessed is the man who puts Hashem as his security. Now, by the way, when you turn your back to Hashem and you're saying, I trust this, then Hashem tells you, so go with this. We'll see how far you're going to go. So, we have to be very, very careful about what is foreign in my life that I fall into idolatry. Besides the fact that that's the biggest slap to Hashem's face. When we're already focusing on idolatry and Chilul Hashem. To turn my back to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that's a slap to his face. That's not a line I would recommend to cross. So, and again, I gave examples in the morning. Now I gave one example, but also it can be other examples. I see how people worship the phone. I told you in the morning, sometimes people, their phone falls on the floor. Chas v'shalom, it will get a scratch. But if your prayer book falls on the floor, you'll pick it up like as if nothing happened. Maybe you'll do a favor and give it a kiss. So, the first and most important is that Hashem has to be the center. En od milvado. Right? And there's nothing else but the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He is the center. Everything evolves around Hashem. Because if Hashem wants, lights out in 1 second. Now, of course, when I make Hashem secondary, like I said before, the luchot will break. The foundation will break. Now, how is that going to affect me? Some people, I mean all of you, there's no yotze min haklal, there's no exceptions. Everybody at some point in their life experience in a small version what we call a zeir anpin shvirat hakelim, breaking of the vessels, that your life is chaos, that nothing works out, that your life is chaotic, and no questions, no answers, don't know what to do. Everybody goes through some situation like this in their life, and some people that's their whole life, that's their theme of their life, is living in chaos. And it doesn't mean they did anything wrong or bad, but at some point there's a certain cycle to life that I have to go through some type of a shvirat hakelim, the breaking of the vessels. Now, what is one of the greatest brachot that we ask Hashem to give us? I don't know exactly how to say it in English. I tried many times to translate it. In Hebrew, it's called menuchat hanefesh. I think you would say a peace of mind, inner peace, tranquility. All these words are nice, but menuchat hanefesh is that my soul is relaxed. I shared with you maybe 1,000 times, I think, the same example. I'll share it again. My wife gets very upset with me when we go to sleep. I fall asleep with usually anywhere from a second to a second and a quarter. That's how long it takes me to fall asleep. And my wife, this side, that side, this side. She asks, how do you fall asleep so fast? How? I want to fall asleep fast. Most people, they turn 3-4 times this way, like a shish kebab. Turn this time, this way, on the stomach, on the back. I told her, well, first of all, I sleep, what do I sleep at night? 2 hours, 3 hours? I don't have much time to waste. But I told her, but you know why I fall asleep fast? Nothing bothers me. I don't owe anybody anything. And if I owe you something, tell me, because I don't want to owe anybody anything. But I don't owe anybody anything, including apologies and including anything. I settle things fast. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't go and hurt people deliberately. I settle things fast. I don't let my soul be bothered. Now, this is one way. The soul will be bothered is if I'm not focused on the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So when a person has menuchat hanefesh, this tranquility, this peace of mind, then life flows very calm. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't have drama in my life. I have a lot of drama in my life, thank God. But it's not taking me off my focus. I also have 7 kids. I need to take care of 7 kids. I have a lot of, I'm not complaining in any type of a way, but I also have ups and downs and dramas and scenes, and but it doesn't throw me off. Doesn't make me completely out of focus, or chas v'shalom, to a place that is called shvirat kelim, that I don't have any kelim, any vessels to hold this drama. So when a person is completely in a state of tranquility, I like calling it more like a inner peace. Then you fall asleep like that, because what do you need to do in bed? Count sheep? That's time to sleep right now. So you fall asleep. But if you are bothered by many things, you might not fall asleep so fast, unless you use all sorts of substance that will help you fall asleep. But the point is that when a person has peace, an inner peace, it's as a result because he's focused on the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And if I say I don't owe anybody something because it says in the Torah, I'm not allowed to owe anybody anything. So you have to be settled very, very fast. So when you follow the Torah, by default you reach to an inner peace. So you're focused. So when I'm saying, I keep saying Shvirat HaKelim. Shvirat HaKelim is a Kabbalistic term to the breaking of the vessels. But we just now said that the second thing that happened was Shvirat HaLuchot. The tablets got broken. What are the tablets? It's the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments corresponding to 10 Sfirot. The 10 emanations that Hashem not only creates but also governs the world. Hashem created with 10 emanations. And also with 10 ma'amarot, 10 speeches. Everything is 10. You see, everything we have here is 10. 10 Sfirot. We also had 10 plagues. Everything comes in tens. So when I am not focused on the Kadosh Baruch Hu, by default, the kelim, the vessels that are holding my structure, will break. There is an argument. Did Moshe Rabbeinu get up and angry and smashed it? Or, one opinion says the letters went out of the 10 Commandments, of the tablets, and they got so heavy that they fell. But what did we just read? Et haluchot asher shibarta. Did you listen to what we were reading? The tablets that you broke, says Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu. Psol lecha shne luchot avanim karishonim. Make yourself again tablets like the first ones. What are the first ones? You broke them. If I would be Moshe Rabbeinu, I would do much more than breaking them. Moshe deserves, no wonder that he's a Moshe Rabbeinu. I don't think any living human being in the last 3,000 years could handle what Moshe Rabbeinu handled. But nevertheless, Shvirat HaLuchot corresponds to Shvirat HaKelim. The breaking of the Luchot is corresponding to the breaking of the vessels, that my life is chaotic. So if you find chaos in your life, you gotta go to the root. Maybe there's some type of short circuit, or maybe with something, one of the wires is disconnected, that there's some type of chaos in my life. Now, if you have chaos in your life, by the way, it doesn't mean that necessarily what I just said now, that is the case. Sometimes there's going to be chaos because that's what Hashem wants you to go through. But the question is how you relate with the chaos. Are you caving under the craziness? That some people unfortunately get to a point of a nervous breakdown, or chas v'shalom suicide, or abusing drugs and alcohol? Or are you able to handle the chaos? In case you didn't notice, this entire planet right now is in chaos. But the point is, how do you handle it? If you are attached to Hashem, chaos will be handled with responsibility, with the right focus. And needless to say, that's what Kadosh Baruch Hu wants. Now, see, I wanted to talk about something else, but as I said many times, Hashem runs the show. I just open my mouth, put on autopilot, Hashem talks. But the other three, four that are not as less important is the fact that the korban, our access to Hashem was limited. That's another big hint. This is already in a form of a hint, more than action. If I do idolatry, if I cause chaos, that's one thing. Here, Hashem already gave me a hint. You cross lines, I'm not going to give you the way to get close to me. So the korban got cancelled. But then comes one of the biggest things, that's really what I wanted to focus on, and we'll do it very briefly, is that we have walls. We have gates. And if I don't guard these walls and gates, then my inner domain will be attacked in no time. And the gates start with my eyes, what I look at. We spoke about that numerous times. To guard your eyes. Can't let your eyes go astray. Don't follow your heart. And after your eyes. Milashon liznot. It comes from the word to go after, but in a not nice way. It's not that I'm looking now at a beautiful mezuzah and I'm marveling the beautiful art of the scribe. That I see something that is disgusting and I go after that. So the first gates is my eyes. The eyes are not guarded, everything else is already will be damaged. And then of course my ears, my nostrils, and my mouth. The mouth is the biggest problem. But it's not only these gates of my own domain, it's also the gates that I put in my house. What do I bring into my house? Internet, not internet. TV, not TV. Do I bring pritzut into my house? Promiscuity. Did I say good? Promiscuity? Promiscuity. You got the point. Do I bring it into my house or not? Do I allow certain things to come into my house or not? It's not only these gates. I have also walls around my house. What am I bringing into my house? Am I bringing junk into my house? Am I not bringing junk into my house? And also in my own surrounding. How do you handle your gates? Now the second that you're going to crack a hole in one of the gates, you can say goodbye. Right away. Who's going to come? Apostomos Sarasha will come and will burn the Torah within you. Within moments. If you're not guarding your gates. And of course the end result will be a tzelem in the Echal. Idol in the center of your life. Anything but the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So when we need to focus on what I need to do, the first two, this is already personal with Hashem. But I need to understand that I have to have guards. I have to have walls. You know that the majority of the mitzvot that we do, they're called gdarim, fences. Or siyagim. Sayag is the same idea like a fence. It's more like a barrier or some type of a separation. Why? Because if I'm going to go through 1, 2, 3, and 4, and at the end I'll fall, then I need to put all these barriers to stop me. A lot of the things that we are restricted on Shabbat, it's not a halakha. It's not even a isur, a prohibition. It's a fence. Don't do this, so you're not going to get to this and get to this and get to that, and at the end you're going to fail. So all these gdarim, these siyagim, these walls, these barriers, these are the walls that are not allowed to be broken. And when you let them be broken, then it's very quickly before apostomos harasha, the evil apostomos will come and burn the Torah within you. And then of course what happens when he burns the Torah within you, then you disregard the Torah, you don't care what the Torah says. And you can still come and pray 3 times a week and have a nice beard and a yarmulke and a hat and all the gear. But inside, if the walls are already broken, then the enemy is within. So you will fulfill 80-90% of the Torah, and the 10% that is most detrimental, that's where you're going to fail in. The Talmud says, you know what the Yetzer Hara does? Exactly like what the Nachash did to Chava. He didn't tell her much. You know, he was standing outside of Gan Eden with a violin and a rose in his mouth, and he was singing to Chava, Amor, Amor. And Chava was like, ooh, somebody's looking at me, except my husband. And then he started singing her all sorts of love songs. And when he got her attention, he's like, I just want to see what's going on inside here. Just open the door for a second. I just want to peek. And then, of course, he told her, you know, listen, I didn't read the law that says you can't touch the tree. I only know you're not allowed to eat. And he pushes her on the tree. So the same thing that Yetzer Hara does to you. It tells you today, just do a small sin. And tomorrow, just do a small sin. And before you know it, he tells you now bow down to an idol. But if I don't let the Yetzer Hara in, then he's never going to let you do that. You know, the Yetzer Hara is like a salesperson. He comes to sell you something, you say, I'm not interested. He comes to give with another product. Then you throw him out of the door, he comes through the window. You close the window, comes from the back door. You know, these sales people, they don't let you go. And at the end you just say, okay, I'll buy something, just leave. If I buy something, you leave, here I'll buy. So the Yetzer Hara is a salesperson, and he's selling you Gehenom. Ticket to Gehenom, double ticket, one-way ticket. So the point we want to take from that, to conclude, is the siagim, the walls, the fences, the barriers, the protection that I do to myself is only for your own benefit, because you have to make sure that your walls are guarded. The second that the walls are being broken into, that's it. It's just a matter of time before the destruction. So in the second temple, the walls were broken on the 17th of Tammuz, and 3 weeks later came the destruction of Beit HaMikdash. But with the first temple, it was on the 9th of Tammuz. Just that our sages decided it's going to be too many fasts, we'll join 2 fasts together. But the walls of the first temple were broken on Tet B'Tammuz, in the 9th of Tammuz. Excuse me? So again, there was the breaking of the walls, and then till the armies went in. You know, in the second temple, what happened is, why did it take them 3 weeks to get to destruction? Because the Kohanim guarded the actual structure with their bodies, with their life. The soldiers were already in the old city, but the Kohanim were standing there around and says, okay, maybe we can push it another day. Maybe we can push it another day. Maybe it will be some type of a miracle. That's for us to learn like the Kohanim. They guarded the Kedusha with their life. They didn't just say, okay, let's surrender, the story is over. So really what we want to take from that, like I said in the morning, if you want to make this fast meaningful, even though in 20 minutes you can already eat and stuff your stomachs with food, but the question is, what are you doing in 25 minutes? What are you taking from the fast? What are you taking from the historical events that happened that we are commemorating now? Are you going to forget about it tomorrow and everything goes back to normal? Or are you taking some type of a lesson from that? And how am I setting my perimeters? What is my firewalls? What am I bringing into my house? What am I bringing into my computer? There's nothing wrong with using technology. But if you know that technology is going to be a stumbling block, then don't bring it into your home. If you know that the computer will bring you to Be'er Shachat, then don't bring the computer into your home. If you know that any type of your social media, you're using it to get news, fine. But if you're using it and every day you're getting into arguments and disagreements and pulls you into Lashon Hara, then don't go on it. Close your account. Protect your domains. Protect your walls. And I'm giving one example out of many. You use your own understanding of what's a threat in your life. Don't step into a point that you're already crossing into landmines. And then, of course, when your walls are broken, it's just a matter of time before the Yetzer Hara comes in. So to make the fast meaningful, follow everything that we said. But it all starts with how you are protecting your little domain, whether it's your body, with protecting your eyes, your ears, your mouth, which, needless to say, is not less important than anything else, and then how you're protecting your house and your environment, your arba amot, your 4 amot, where I live, and it's also in your shul. You feel safe and secure in your shul, good. You go to pray in a shul where there's a lot of Lashon Hara, or a lot of hate, or I don't know how you call it, when they segregate Ashkenazi, Sephardi, whatever it is, don't go to a shul like this. And I know maybe people say, but I need to pray in a minyan. So pray in the corner, come to the minyan, then go out. Why put yourself in a place where just learn the halachot with Lashon Hara? If you're in a group that they talk Lashon Hara, but you're in the same place, the name, the indictment, you're going to be also in the indictment, whether you're guilty or not. Same thing with the city where you live, and same thing everything. Make sure that the environment that is affecting you, where am I sending my kids to school? What are my kids watching and listening to? Who are they hanging out with? Listen, this is all pikuach nefesh, to a point that this is saving souls, and especially your soul. So hopefully we can learn something out of this day, that maybe in the next 3 weeks we can really bump it up to such a level that maybe we can melt Hashem's heart, and nothing can stop Hashem from bringing the redemption faster, by the way. The redemption doesn't have to come in a disaster. It can come however Hashem wants it to come. Kadosh Baruch Hu can flick his finger and everything is great and dandy, as they say. It doesn't have to come with suffering and pain and disasters. But we have to really convince the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So now it's time to act, and not time to, we need to act. Kadosh Baruch Hu is already pushing us to places that He's telling to us, you better act fast. So Be'ezrat Hashem, hopefully we made this fast will be meaningful, where we can actually take what we have learned from that and apply that. And if we do, then the fast will turn out to be meaningful, and maybe we do have the chance of sweetening all the judgments and convincing the Kadosh Baruch Hu to hasten the redemption exactly how he did in Mitzrayim. He hastened the redemption 190 years. So that can still happen to us too. There's nothing that should stop the Kadosh Baruch Hu from hastening the redemption. It all depends on us. So now what is left is just to act. Good luck.